This is The Tea Mind with me, Erica Moore. It's a space to slow down, step out of the noise and see things a little more clearly. Some episodes are conversations around the moment that something clicked and what changed afterwards. Others are short clarity sessions, a few minutes where we sip tea together so we can come back to ourselves and think clearly in the middle of a full day. Because when the usual pace stops working and everything starts to feel a little bit unclear, the answer is rarely more information. It's usually a little more attention. A chance to pause and to see what's been overlooked, and to create enough space for clarity to find you. Welcome back to The Tea Mind. If you've got a niggling feeling that if you listened in properly you'd maybe hear a slightly uncomfortable truth, then this practice is all about giving it enough room to speak. It doesn't have to be a big truth, it might just be something that you've noticed about your work or your time or a relationship or just the way that you've been living lately. Maybe something that you haven't quite said to yourself yet. So before we begin, just make sure that you're somewhere that you can safely give this a few minutes of your attention and bring your tea along with you if you can, or just listen along. Today I am brewing some second flush Darjeeling tea with its lovely, delicate, fresh aroma, that muscatel character that's so reminiscent of Darjeeling. And it's got a real gentle depth with a clean finish that lingers long after you swallow. As a second flush tea, it's matured under the warmer late spring sun and it might invite more honesty and clarity into your day today. So I invite you to choose any black tea that you're drawn to and see what it invites and opens up in you today. So just go ahead and pour yourself some tea and just watch the steam for a moment as you bring the cup close enough to notice the aroma, and just leave it there for a little second without having to drink yet. As we pause with our tea, just becoming present to this moment, allowing the warmth of the tea and the cup in your hands to be enough to gently unwind your shoulders and get ready to sip slowly as we ease into the next breath. And go ahead and take your first sip now, and as you do, just pay attention to it. And black teas, particularly florally black teas like Darjeeling, can be quite revealing. They don't tend to hit you with a really big flavour, just one big flavour. There's lots of different details to notice, different nuances. It might be something a little bit sweet or perhaps a little sort of fruit flavour to it. And then just notice the finish, whether it's clean, slightly dry. Every tea is different, so just notice whichever tea you're drinking is actually giving you today. And as you breathe in, just feeling the warmth of the cup in your hands and noticing the warmth of the tea as it trickles down your body. And taking a look at where you are today, not physically, but just in your life. What's been taking up a lot of your attention recently? And without overthinking it, just notice what comes to mind. And I've been thinking about this myself recently because I've just come back from 6 weeks of travelling with my family throughout Spain and France and Newquay. And it was really special, proper time together. Lots of time to explore and time to try new things without needing them to lead anywhere, which I can sometimes find quite tricky. I even picked up a paintbrush just for fun, and I am not a painter. I've never been someone that could draw at all. So it sounds like a very ordinary thing, but I really noticed something in it because I didn't have a business case for painting and there was no content plan, nothing I needed to turn it into. I allowed myself to simply enjoy doing it. So as you take another sip of your tea now, just notice how the flavours changed as the tea has cooled a little bit. Being away gave me enough distance to admit something that I'd probably known for a while. I had started to allow work to take over a little bit more than I'd wanted it to. And the trouble is that I really love what I do. I am really passionate about it and all in, but I also want room for other parts of my life that don't need to contribute to what I do. And just let your grip on your cup loosen a little bit more as you notice if you've been holding any tension somewhere while you've been listening. And just breathe in, and on your out breath, just release what you can. Recently on the podcast, I spoke with Sarah Robertson. It was episode 84 about having the courage to slow down. And that one really resonated with me, especially now I've been away for these 6 weeks. And back on episode 80, I spoke with Eleanor Cunningham, who had already planted that little seed about creativity and perhaps picking up a paintbrush, and about making something because you want to make it and for no other reason. And sometimes another person says something that really lands and that part of us really recognises, and we don't necessarily need to act on it straight away, but it stays somewhere buried deep within our subconscious. So as you take another sip of your tea now, let the aftertaste linger just a little bit before you take another sip. And become aware if there's anything like that sitting quietly with you now. Something that you've noticed more than once, something that maybe keeps resurfacing. And it might be quite quiet, but I invite you to spend a little time here today, just bringing your attention to your own life and to what it actually is right now. Just in this moment, not the version of your life that you're working towards at some point in the future, but now. And ask yourself, what have I noticed recently that I haven't quite admitted to myself? And see what comes up. Maybe you've had enough of something, or maybe you missed something, or maybe the speed at which life is happening doesn't really fit with you anymore. Perhaps there's something else that you want to make room for. And as you take another sip of your tea, just become aware of any clarity that comes as you swallow your tea. And then ask yourself one more question. If you said that truth really plainly, what would you have to acknowledge? And just stay there for a moment. For me, it was saying that work had taken over too much, meant that I had to acknowledge something else, and I couldn't keep hoping for more balance while giving work first claim on all the available space that I had in my days. I realised that I had to create some boundaries around it, and that was what was really useful about admitting it, really sitting with that feeling. The truth stopped being vague and niggling at me. It had become something I could actually respond to and take action on. So now come back to whatever surfaced for you. And you don't need a master plan, just decide on one thing that you can do about this. And keep the answer really simple and close to real life. For me, it means protecting more time with family and leaving space for creativity, which has no particular purpose to it. Maybe I'll paint, I even learn to crochet a little bit, or maybe I'll try something else, but the point is that it doesn't have to be valuable in any way. So what does responding look like for you? Is it a boundary you need to put in place, or something that you need to say, or something you want to make room for? I invite you to just choose one action now, something small enough to actually happen. And now, as you take your final sip, notice the temperature of the tea now compared with the beginning. Become aware of the last flavour and the aftertaste that lingers. And as you set your cup down gently, listen to that small sound. Perhaps something has become a little more clear in these last few minutes. Perhaps it's something that you've known but haven't really wanted to admit for a while. And you don't have to make a big thing of it, just be honest with yourself and what you've heard. And you can do one thing that shows that you've listened. Thank you for sharing your pause for tea with me today. If something in this episode stayed with you, don't try and change everything at once. Just start with a moment. Make the tea, let it steep. Take a breath and notice what is actually there. And from there, choose what matters next. Because clarity isn't something that we find, it's something that we make space for. This is the Tea Mind. Until next time, take care of your attention.